faith, and welcome to another edition of Motivational Fitness Thursdays. I'm Coach Mick. We're going to do some stretching today. We're going to make sure we're working out some of those kinks that you may have built up over the week while doing your workouts and weight training and running and all other things that you're doing to keep yourself healthy right now and fit. We're going to start off, though, with some standing stretches. We're also going to do some stretches on the mat here, but we're starting off with just a simple feet together, hands up, and I'm swan diving right down into my stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, we're right back up, and I like to stretch those hamstrings a little bit more, so I go right over left, and I'm using the same technique where I'm swan diving down into my stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, so now I'm back up, and we went right over left. We're going left over right now, same movement. Up, and then swan diving down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. You should probably feel some of that in your lower back too, though. If you have a tight lower back, you definitely feel it. I definitely have. And we're going to be doing these stretches standing, and we're going to do the same things, or similar things, laying down, working the quads, stretching our hamstring and our groin areas multiple times. So again, we'll be duplicating some of the same stretches that we are doing, working those quads and working those hamstrings. And right now, we're going to work those groins. I'm going straight down, and my lower back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And standing up is oftentimes a lot easier doing some stretches than it is sitting down. Like sitting down, for instance, and going with the spread eagle movement and trying to reach down as far as you can, a little bit more difficult than it is when I'm standing because of gravity, right? So I'm down to my left side now. I'm making sure that I'm pulling my right hand as far as I can, possibly touching my foot. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, so I'm right back up. I felt that pretty good in my hamstring, in my groin area. We're right back over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. So now, got our little feet open. I'm going to stretch my quad a little bit more now. And this one, it's important you note that we don't want to grab our foot and then lean forward. That's not stretching anything. In fact, you add more strain to yourself than anything. So I'm grabbing my foot, or ankle, if you can, and I'm trying to straighten my back out, right? And I'm using the chair for balance as, guess I need the chair on the other side. I'm using my chair for balance so that I don't rock over while I'm trying to stretch here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. So I'm going to bring that back over. Not sure why I brought that chair over here around, but we're working it. So as I got my foot now, and I straighten out. And bringing that chin up may help you too. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, so we work those lower limbs, and we're going to go down to the mat now and start working on our glutes a little bit, right? And I'm going to get another stretch in too with our hamstring here. Hamstring, long muscle. Also a muscle that is very sensitive to running, jumping, and so forth. This activity. You pull one of those things without a problem. but we won't. So what I'm doing here is my right leg is straight up. I got my foot flexed down or up, I should say, toward my head, and my hands are interlocked right above my knee on my kind of just the lower portion of my thigh, and I'm pulling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, you probably couldn't tell as much, but as I counted, I continued to pull my leg up a little bit back, a little bit more, as I felt the need to. You want to give as much of a pull as possible. You want to start off trying to yank your leg back. You want to gradually kind of pull it back as you feel more comfortable pulling. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. Now, work those hamstrings. We're going to work that lower back and glute muscle. And what I do here with this, I kind of do a special thing, is I take my left hand, my right knee is up, I take my left hand and pull toward my left side as I'm pulling back toward my chest at the same time. So trying to keep it straight and pulling it in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Good. All right, let that one down. I got my left leg now. Taking my right hand, pulling it toward my right side while pulling it toward my chest. All right, so to my right and then in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, I like to pull both of them at the same time just to get like a really good stretch of that lower back area, kind of that gluteus muscle, gluteus maximus muscle. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. So I'll let both of those out. Now, the real stretch for the glute. One of the best stretches I've ever gotten. I got this from, I won't name drop it, but I got it from a really viable source. And then I've been using this stretch for the longest. So what I've done is, I've taken my right leg, my right foot, and crossed my left thigh. Right hand goes in between the little triangle that it forms. Left hand interlocks on the outside, and I'm pulling. You don't want to pull too hard because you should feel that as soon as you interlock your fingers. And I do. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, again, it kind of goes without saying because breathing is kind of a natural thing when you're living. But you want to make sure that you are also taking in some deep breaths and blowing. Right? It helps to relax those muscles so that you can stretch them well. All right. And I'm going again. So that's my left leg, cross over to my right. Taking my left hand, going between that triangle, and interlocking my fingers from the outside. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. Let both of those back down now. Kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say difficult stretch, but it can be, especially if you don't do these properly. So I got kind of a spread eagle thing going with my hands here. My arms are out. I bring my right leg up, and I'm going all the way across. Right? Oh, yes. You should feel that. I'm going to talk about it. Let's just go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, I know I probably should have talked about it before I started the second side of this all, but what I've done here is I'm
tried to keep my opposite, same leg that kicked over, that right leg, I'm trying to keep that right shoulder down. It's probably not going to stay down unless you're just uber flexible. But you want to try and keep that down. That maximizes the stretch and keeping that torso turned back that way. Another easy way to do it is to turn your head and help you force all of your pressure back to the opposite way so you get that stretch. And we're going back the other side now. And I'm turning. Now with a smile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Easy back up. Easy back up. If you're cramping, drink some water. And then come out of that stretch. So now we're up. And we've got the triangle stretch. The reason why I call it the triangle because we're forming a triangle with our leg here. Let me turn in here this way so you can kind of see. I've got the triangle happening, right? Right foot in. The premise of the stretch, or the point of this stretch, is to get this right hand all the way down to that foot. Now mine's not going to go, but I'm going to push as far as I can to try and get that down there. When I'm stretching again, and what you'll feel is that lower right side. I'm stretching back and my hamstring. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Another thing that I just did too was I used my leg to pull myself down. So I just grabbed my leg and pulled myself down as far as I could. I know a lot of people that are really flexible. They can bring their head all the way down to their knee. I don't advise it if you can't. and I'm not going to try. But here we go. The other side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, good stretch that way. Turn back this way because we have butterfly stretch. Again, I've talked about this before. A lot of people think that you're supposed to bring your feet in here and then push down on that. Well, that does stretch you in the kind of growing area there, but it's not as good a stretch as when you grab the toes and then try and straighten your back out. That lower back, looking up, and we're going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Woo. That's cool. If you are sweating during your stretching, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. All right, so now we got that done. Let's turn over and stretch this lower back a little bit more. I like to use a couple of yoga positionings to stretch. And this is what we call upward dog. And you can go stay on your knees and go, or you can get onto your feet and go. And I'm going to go on my knees today because and my arms are just below my shoulders. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? Good for the abdominal stretch as well. Feel that in my stomach a little bit. And so now, let's get down here. I'm going to go into an upward dog pose. Not upward dog, downward dog pose. All right? Whereas I'm bringing my feet kind of spread eagle a bit. And I'm trying to push my heels down as I'm going down, as I'm bringing my shoulders out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. Now with that, turn back around. Now another stretch, like I said, we'll be duplicating some of the stretches as far as what we're working or what we're trying to loosen up. Obviously, what you've heard me talk about this whole time is my lower back, and it's both sides. Man, getting old is a gift and a curse, right? All right, so I'm gonna cross my right foot over my left leg, arm back to kind of support myself, try and keep this leg as straight as possible, and pull. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. But you, it's a little difficult to breathe sometimes when you got your organs crossed up like that. All right? So if I sound a little fake, I'm not, just can't breathe that well because my, yes, I'm pulling. And go. That's a smile. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, so now we just took care of our legs, lower back, a little bit of the core there. We're gonna raise up and start working on the upper body portion of it all. So we got our shoulders. We're gonna roll them shoulders going forward. There's 1, 2, and I'd go slow with this. 3, 4, 5, and 6. We go backwards 6 times. 1, 2. You can work your neck while you're going 2, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so now I'm rotating this arm, really working those shoulders a little bit, working those arms. Stretching those arms, we're working. I'm sweating, I don't know if you are, should be. But I'm gonna roll, and I have like a little bit of a stance going with this, just so that I have a more range of motion. I have that same arm that I'm rotating, that same foot that I'm rotating the arm of, going backwards. And I have my left foot going forward. And that's 3, and that's 4. Full range of motion. And 5, and 6, we're going backwards now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, really pressing to get full range of motion. If you can't, that's fine. Don't hurt yourself trying. All right? Stretching. Not about killing yourself. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Good period right now for me to take a towel off, all right, and go to our kind of standing, I don't know, I guess these are half moons. I love these half moons to begin when I talk about my back, my sides. But the idea here is not to come over, right? I'm just having that arm straight up and letting my side bend. Bending at my waist here and looking into the eye of my elbow. Right there. And going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. So a lot of people, and it varies how you want to do it, but a lot of people they decide to have with their feet open. I like to keep my feet together because I feel like I get a little bit better reach when I'm going over. But if you're off balance or you don't feel comfortable that way, you can open those feet up and get the same stretch. In fact, I'm gonna go the same way with you. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. Get a couple more hugs in, those huggers. And loosen up those shoulders. And elbows, I guess, too. All right, so now I'm gonna stretch the shoulders a little bit more. Again, doing those push-ups and doing all the weightlifting and so forth. Those shoulders get a little tight. And it's easy to get some shoulder injuries if you don't stretch. And I've got my right hand is basically touching the center of my back. I'm taking my left hand and grabbing at the elbow. And what I've learned is if I look up, I get a little bit better stretch right in that kind of shoulder blade area, right back there. get an extra stretch. All right? And we going. And another thing I like to add on too is a little bit of a lean. Pull myself. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. Those hands just hang. Arms just dangle. Back and forth. All right. And we're going back with the other now. Left hand, kind of the back of my neck. Grabbing right hand with grab the left elbow. Looking up and pulling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Those arms just hang a little bit. All right. And we're getting here toward the end of our little segment here. But the last little stretch, kind of like this stretch, it really gets right into that muscle, that tricep muscle going all the way up into my elbow here. So I grab my right hand, I'll take my right hand, go across my body, and hook right at the elbow, turning my neck across my shoulder. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. Just gonna let these arms just swing. Yeah. That ought to feel good to you. Does to me. All right, so here we go. Left arm going across, hooking with the right, looking over my left shoulder. And we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, so we've worked those arms. Now let's get up and kind of stretch that neck a little bit. And the neck stretches are pretty easy. You know, it's easy to just go back and forth or whatever else. And we can do that at any time you'd like. But I'm gonna do some rotations. We're gonna rotate to the back. I'm gonna go backwards to my right first and work my way around to my left. And we're gonna do these slow because, again, you're dealing with a lot of bones in that neck and a lot of ligaments and muscles. You do not want to strain those. I think I got about 2 there. Here's 3 right here going around. That's 3. And here's 4. Man, my neck is tight. And there's 5 coming up right here. And we're gonna do 6. We got 1 more. And 6. Try to keep yourself as sturdy as possible. I'm taking this a little bit slower because I feel a little bit of a kink right there. Man. Whew. All right, shake that out. No. Yep. We're going back the other way. I'm gonna go backwards to the left. Here we go. There's 1. And 2. And 3. Yeah. And 4. And you can do as many of these as you want. I'm just counting to 6 and I'm going as slow as I possibly can because I want to get the maximum benefit from that movement. Whew. That feels good. Yes, Brother George. That feels good. All right, so there it is. That's our stretch segment for the day. I know it wasn't much, but hopefully we worked out some of the kinks and some of the tightness that you've had in some of your muscles and ligaments and joints. And now we're ready to get back to another full body exercise next segment. God bless you. Look forward to seeing you on Sundays, or at least hearing from you on Sundays through the streaming. And we're back on campus. God bless.